Good morning, everybody. Welcome to class. It is fall. We have a few trees outside that the colors are starting to turn, which is very exciting. You can see the green, and the very tips of the trees have color, which I'm very excited about because I grew up in Texas, and Texas, it was like the trees were green, and then you fell asleep and they all turned, and then you woke up and the leaves were all gone the next day. You never saw any colors in Houston. Slight exaggeration, but I really like it when the trees turn. So that's what's going on here in Blue Mounds. We are working on our routine, and today I wanted to add just a little bit of strap work to the routine. So if you have a yoga strap, great. And I grabbed a kitchen towel today just because I haven't done it that way in a while, and I thought I would show that. So with a kitchen towel or a hand towel from the bathroom, you're going to grab the diagonal corners as opposed to the same corner, which is just a little longer, and then you can do that like little twirl if you want to, which reminds me of doing the dishes when I was a child and my brother twirling up a towel and slapping me because that's what you do when you're a kid. And then hold the ends of the towel, knuckles pointing down. Now, if you have a yoga strap, you just do the same thing with a yoga strap. Um, we're going to set up with your feet in parallel and arms a little wide. And then you're going to inhale, do a little pull out to feel some tension, and then exhale, release it. And inhale, little pull out, and exhale, release. And pulling out, feeling the back come on, the upper back come on. This is going to set us up really nicely for the 100 when we start pumping the arms in the 100. Can you connect the feeling of your shoulder blades, back of the shoulder, back of the arm, down through the hands? Really nice strong line through the arms. One more time, pull out and hold it. And then arms are going to go up about shoulder height. And exhale, lower. And inhale, reaching up. And exhale, lower. All the same muscles are working. You're keeping a little bit of tension on the strap or the towel. You're keeping the elbows wide and lifted, not saggy. Inhale, exhale, keeping your rib connection already. This is going to help when we do the roll up. How the arms connect all the way into the upper abdominals. And one more time up to that just below shoulder height place. Release the tension. Now we do the pulls here. Inhale and exhale. Shoulder blades are wide. Upper back of the shoulder working, which is your rotator cuff muscles. Triceps working, which is the back of your arm. Connecting all the way throughout to the hands. Maybe you notice sometimes I reach my fingertips forward. Sometimes that feels nice to relate it to the 100. But either way is fine. Hold it. And then we go up and overhead. Inhale, ribs stay connected. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, lower. Inhaling up. And exhale. And reaching up. And lower. And 4 more. Inhale. Exhale. Reach. And lower. 2 more. And up. And lower down. We're going to take the towel and reach it behind you. Everything else is the same. Knuckles down, backs of the hands forward, elbows a little wide, and a little pull out here. And exhale, release. And pulling out, same thing. Elbows are still wide, so don't push the elbows back in together. Keep reaching the elbows out. Still feeling the upper back of the shoulder. So my collarbones are wide and my shoulder blades are wide. Can you feel both those things at the same time? 2 more. And one more time, pull out. And then arms are going to reach back behind you a little bit and bring it back in. Long reach through your knuckles. So a long, flat wrist. You don't break the wrist as you go back, but you reach the knuckles back. Collarbones and shoulder blades are still wide. I'm not squeezing my shoulder blades together. I'm leaving them really wide. And ribs are connected. Here's your shoulder bridge feeling. Right? When we go into shoulder bridge, this is the arm to torso angle. So we'll come back to that feeling and releasing that. All right, so we've got that upper body a little bit warm. Let's go into our mat routine. So coming onto your back, knees bent, feet flat. Take a moment on your back, feeling everything settle. So I no longer have to work against gravity to stand up. My spine gets to sort of release all along the vertebra. My pelvis, my hips can release, my neck can release. So I take a moment and find that decompression, settle into it, and then we're going to go right into knee folds, holding the pelvis steady. And exhale, back down. Inhale, floating a leg up, holding the pelvis still with the lower abdominals. Inhale, one leg up. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale the other leg up. Can you imagine that your leg is really light and floating, right? Sometimes we talk about the leg being heavy. It's useful. Sometimes it's nice to think about the leg being really light, relaxed and light, right? Not tense and light, relaxed and light. Last time, left leg floats up and back down. And as you finish your set, hands come behind your head, elbows a little lifted. Feel some of that arm work we did. Those same muscles recruited to connect into your upper abdominals, to hold the elbows in place. And then that lifts your head up, looking into your belly. Take a breath. Exhale, deepen the abdominal muscles, little bit higher up. Nice upper back support with the arms, tricep support, upper abdominal support. Lowering back down. We're going to do 4 of these. Exhale as you start. Inhale. Exhale, just inch it up a little higher. If you come up a lot higher on the second one, you didn't come up high enough on the first one. So exhale, come to your end range. The second one shouldn't be very far. It should just be a little deepening in the abdominals that takes you a little, gives you a little more strength here. Now we're going to hold it up here. Either one hand coming forward with 100 or 2 hands coming forward. Legs into tabletop and little pumps like you had the strap again. Feel those muscles working through the upper back and the arms. Inhale. Exhale. We do 10 total. This is the 4th one. 5th one. Exhale. Inhale for 5. Exhale. Breathing in. Deep in the belly on the exhale. 3 more. Imagine you could do a little tug on the strap again. And rest everything down. Stretch your right leg out on the floor. Keep the left leg in. We're going to flex the right foot. Relax the left thigh for a moment. Make sure the pelvis is relaxed and grounded. And then shape your arms, elbows a little bit lifted so they're wide. As you push your leg a little bit into your hands, bring your head up like you did in the mini crunch and feel like your shoulder blades are really connected to your rib cage. Exhale. A little more belly, pressing your leg forward up to sitting. Then coming back down, inhale. Exhale down. We'll take 2 of these like we've been doing. Letting your spine really articulate, pelvis down first. Arms stay really connected. And then we switch legs. Opposite leg in. Left leg on the floor with a flexed foot. Relax your right hip for a moment. Shape the arms as you lift your head, as you push your right leg into your hands. Exhale, deepen your belly. Push your leg a little more. Feel how the leg tips you up. Rolling back down. Inhale and exhale. And inhale to start. Exhale. Sink the ribs, draw the belly in. Push your right leg. Coming back down. Inhale. All right, now we're going to go into two-leg roll-up. You could go back to the other side and do one-leg roll-up. Again, we're going to do 4 roll-ups. So legs together, feet flexed. You might have your knees bent. I'm going to do it straight today. Inhale, start the arms, lifting the head. Now exhale, grab your legs if you want, right? Especially if the knees are bent. Pull with your arms, rolling forward, reaching forward. Or legs stay straight, no hands, heels reach forward, rolling back down, arms overhead. Inhale to start the movement. Pay attention to this moment. Really exhale and bend the spine. So it's a very smooth, fluid movement in the spine. And then 2 more. Remember when you have the towel and you have that little bit of pull, see if you can feel some upper back connection there. Whether your hands are on your legs or floating in space. Last one. And arms go all the way back. Circle around down to your side to take one leg in. I got my right leg. It doesn't matter which leg, but I'm going to do my right leg. Inhale, stretching up. Exhale, bend. Now, easy movement with the leg. As my leg moves up and down, I'm also feeling how my spine can relax again into the floor. Floating the right leg up, hold it there. We'll flex and point your foot. Now, leaving the toes pointed, find your abdominals to hold your leg. Take your arms by your side. Remember how you pulled the strap when it was behind you. Find that feeling as your arms push into the floor. You circle across, round and back to center. Inhale across, exhale, circle. We've been working on the rhythm. Slow reach across, faster circle around and up. Inhale, lengthen, exhale. Control from the belly around. One more. Right away into the reverse. Inhale, reach the leg out of the socket. Exhale, use your belly, circle around and up. Pelvis doesn't move. Last one. Bend your right knee. Take your foot down. It should touch your other leg because your other leg didn't move at all. It's right on center. Now left leg comes in. Hold the back of the leg. Relax your spine as your leg reaches up. Exhale, bend. 3 of these. Next time the leg goes up, you stay there. You flex and point your foot a couple times. And then leaving the foot pointed, finding your abdominals, strong arms by your side. Inhale, reach across with length. Exhale, use your belly to circle around and up. Inhale across. Exhale, circle. It's a little harder for me to keep my pelvis steady on this side. Maybe you have one side that's a little different. So because of that, my circle's a little smaller. It's a little jankier. It's not quite as perfect. That's all right. The main thing is to focus on the pelvis. Ready to reverse, because it gives me really good feedback in my abdominals if I can keep the pelvis really still. 2 more. Bend your knee, take hold of your knee, roll up to sitting. And last week we added our rolling like a ball. So we're going to start with rocking chair, knees bent, hands on your knees, rounding your spine, reaching back. Now, find these muscles, these upper back to tricep muscles that connect into your hands. Feel them on, connect them into your ribs as well. As your feet come off, you're pushing your knees into your hands and you're holding your arms strong. And then all that stays connected as you tip a little bit back without falling. And then you feel belly back, legs forward, tipping the rocking chair forward. Using your belly, your navel pulls back to your spine and that tips you backwards. That tips the scales. And then the knees tip the scale to come forward. But very slow. So a little gentle breeze pushes on the rocking chair. All right, now we're going to go into rolling like a ball if you want, or stay with rocking chair if you want. Leave your hands on your knees or take them lower to your ankles. Same attention, just a little more momentum. Holding the shape steady. Inhale back. Think of rolling to right in between your shoulder blades, not up onto your neck, not back to your head, right to that in between the shoulder blade spot. And then resting at the top. All right, spine stretch, legs open, feet about the width of your mat, sitting up tall, arms reach out in front of you, little imaginary pull on your towel, exhale, rolling forward, drawing your belly back. Inhale, stacking your spine up. Now there's 5 of these. So each time you maybe focus on deepening a thing. You could be thinking about a little more exhale each time. Nice full inhale through your back. And just feeling, getting a little fine-tuning the breath each time. Maybe you were already thinking about something else and you want to fine-tune that each time. Got 2 more. And last one. And relax. All right. Ready for some swan? Some spinal extension. Coming onto your belly. Legs together or hip distance apart. Now, you can do the regular swan with your hands underneath your shoulders. I'm going to do a slightly different swan today. I'm going to take my hands a little wider so they're off the mat. My hands are like head height, like ear height, and my elbows can be wider. My shoulder blades can be wider. This just feels a little different to do it here. If you want to try it that way. So really connecting hands into the floor, upper back wide, ribs connected. And start your swan. Inhaling to start, lifting the belly. Pressing up. Creates a little longer curve in my spine and a little different support through my upper back. Inhale, and I really think of length out. Exhale, ribs together, belly lifted. Collarbones wide, shoulder blades wide. All that same support. And I can really feel the upper back of my shoulder here a little more easily than when my hands are narrow. And I could think pulling out on the towel as I get up. Pushing up, sitting back. Rolling up to sitting. We're going to go into shoulder bridge. Rolling back down onto your back. Heels in line with your sits bones. Knees bent, but don't try to pull your heels super close to your sits bones. Keep them a little bit away from your sits bones, right? Keep your knees a little more open than that. This is the Pilates shoulder bridge. You may have done something different in yoga. All right, so remember we did that towel work. You had the towel behind your back. You gave a little pull. See if you could imagine that happening here. And then when we were standing, you reached your arms back. Now you're going to reach your torso up, but it's going to put you in that same angle of arms reaching back behind the torso as you roll up. See if you can feel that same strength you had with the towel. And then rolling back down. I find adding the arms in actually helps everything. Like it lets me work my spine a little more, like articulate my spine a little more, helps me open the hips a little more. And then it gets the back of my arms working, which is nice. Rolling back down. And one more time. And then resting. Let's take your knees into your chest for a moment. And then find a way up to sitting to transition onto your side. So I'm going to go onto my right side, but if you're doing mirror image, you're going to be on your left side. Legs lined up, body against the back edge of the mat, legs towards the front edge of mat. Hand up on your elbow or down. Top leg a little lifted. 8 times forward and back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. And inhale. And wide collarbones, wide shoulder blades, ribs drawing together. Remember how you worked on your pelvis stable in single leg circles? Same thing here. Even though you're not doing a circle, a lot of the same feeling and action. One more time. And then coming together, turn it out slightly. Point as you lift, flex as you lower. Inhale, exhale. Steady pelvis and reverse. Flexing up. This is kind of like that reach out in the single leg circle, that similar feeling. Leg reaches way out. Back to parallel. 8 little saucer size circle, maybe dessert place size, but not a dinner plate. And reverse it. Inhaling as you need to. Exhaling. And relax both legs. Bend your knees. Push through your front hand. Bring yourself up. And over to the other side. Torso lined up with the back edge of your mat. Feet forward to the front edge of your mat. Ribs connected. Front and back 8 times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Finding the ribs, finding the belly. Trying to keep all that really steady as you move the leg. And then I feel when my leg goes forward, my collarbone wants to narrow. When my leg goes back, my shoulder blade wants to narrow. See if you can apply all that upper body connection. So just keep them both wide. Legs together. Rotate your top leg. Feel the reach out of the hip feeling. And exhale down. Reach the leg out. And exhale. Then flexing up and pointing down. 3 each way. Last one. Parallel circles. Reverse it. And relax it. And rest. All right. I think your core is warmed up as well as your upper body. We're ready for Scott. Oh my gosh, I did it so fast too.
So hopefully we still have sound. Bend and straighten, bend and straighten. Hopefully you could follow along by seeing what I was doing. So then next time that knee in the bent position, let's pause there. Let your toes spread out. Let the ball of your foot broaden and a sense of your heel on the floor. Then take that foot, press it down into the earth. Let that be what lifts you up. Turn back to the front and back to standing. So standing tall and a few deeper breaths. Inhale sufficiently deeply that you feel your back ribs expand. Savor the breath. And step your feet wide apart. Building on that theme, turn your left foot in and your right foot out. Exhale, bend. Pause here for the in-breath. Exhale, tip your hips, hand on your knee, other hand on your hip. Bring your left arm forward and through. And take a little peek up at your ceiling. And come on up. And then the other side. Remember, we're going to move into that position over 2 out breaths. First out breath to bend. Second out breath to tip. Then that upper arm sweeps forward and through. And turning from your upper back and neck, mobilize your neck to check out your ceiling. Then inhale up, back to the front. Now a variation on that theme. Left foot in, right foot out. Still 2 out breaths. First one to bend. Second one to tip, but tipping a little bit farther this time. Elbow to knee. Upper arm up. And then toward the floor, turn your head and neck. Come on up. Back to the front. Second side. First exhale to bend. Second exhale to tip. And then just like we did on the first side, take your upper arm up and toward the floor, turn your head and neck. Ride the inhale up, turn back to the front, and step your feet together. All right, so now to work on the fronts of the thighs, the hip flexors. So let's walk. It begins with hands on the hips. Next step is to take your left foot back. And then to practice generating movement, not from your head, not from your shoulders, but from your back foot. Lift your back heel to propel forward. Descend your back heel to draw back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale. The next time you're forward, pause there. Then take that left heel and reach it down and back. Imagine you're going to telescope your left leg out of your belly. And once you feel that heel on the floor, lift your pelvic crest up to the ceiling. Both arms forward and up, and breathe. back to standing. All right, second side. Right foot this time back. So let's walk. We do the walk part first. Heel up, forward. Heel down, back. Heel up, forward. Heel down, back. Inhale. Exhale. The next time your back heel lifted, let's pause there. And now your right leg. Imagine you're going to telescope that right leg out of your belly. Once you feel that heel make contact, bring both arms forward. And float your arms up. And back to standing. All right. So keeping with the fall theme of a routine, developing the routine over the duration of the semester, now we're going to do a deeper opening in the front of the hip. So if you recall, it's hands on your hips. It's stepping your left foot back, but this time farther back. And this time the back heel lifted and it stays lifted. Exhale, bend your front knee. Inhale, straighten your front knee. All the while the back knee staying more or less straight. So opening the fronts of the hips. Really good for your posture. So next time your front knee bent, let's pause there. Bring both arms forward and up and breathe. And back to standing. So there's a bit of a balance component, isn't there? So you can do this with your hand against a post or a wall, kitchen counter, chair, what have you. Now let's do the second side. So bigger step back, back heel lifted, stays lifted. Exhale, bend your front knee. Inhale, straighten it. Next time your front knee bent, let's pause there. Arms forward and up and breathe. And back to standing. When the fronts of the hips are tight, it not only pulls the pelvis forward, but also tends to pull shoulders forward and head forward. And maybe you're already feeling in your body, having spent that time opening the fronts of the hips, a little bit more ease for the front of the pelvis to lift. And by association, for the chest to lift. And relatedly, hold your head up high. So all that related to the fronts of your hips. So now let's move into sun salutations. So multiple ways you can breathe. Today, let's take the arms up with the out breath. Begin with the inhale. Exhale, arms to the side up. And then with the inhale, mobilize your spine from your head to your tail. In a few breaths, let your head hang, whether your fingertips are on the floor or hands are on your shins. With the next exhale, reach the crown of your head forward, thoracic extension. We'll hold here for a bit. And inhale, fold. Exhale, roll up segment by segment. Inhale, arms down. Again, like that, just a little bit faster. Exhale up. Inhale, fold. Mobilize your spine, vertebra by vertebra. Exhale, crown your head forward. Inhale, fold. Exhale, up. Inhale, arms down. Now let's do one more together quietly. So let's continue with the thread of working on mobility. Hands on your hips. Step your feet wide apart. And then from your hip sockets, fold forward. So keeping your spine straight and folding from your hips until you can no longer fold from your hips. Then round your spine like we have done a few times already and breathe. So for the time being, keeping your hands on your hips. And rolling up, then to the side. Turn your left foot in, right foot out. Turn your left foot a little bit more in. And just like the previous iteration, first fold from your hip. Keep your spine straight. And then when you bump into the resistance in the hip and leg, then mobilize your spine. One day, someday, maybe you plant a big old kiss on your shin or your knee. And roll up, back to the front, second side. So first explore hip mobility, then spine mobility. So if you do kiss your knee or your shin, not one of those little pecks on the cheek or anything, big old kiss. And then roll up, back to the front. All right, so a little different this time. We're going to fold forward, but first, lift your front of your pelvis, pelvic crest, which in turn lifts your chest, which in turn lifts your chin. Open up your throat. Lengthen the whole front of your body from your chin to your pubic bone. And keep that length in the front of your body. Fold from your hips. And then when there's no more hip flexion contribution, then round your spine. Bring your hands either to your shins or the floor and breathe. And then roll up. So your blood pressure may be a little bit low. So come up nice and slowly. Getting dizzy may seem like a religious experience. More often than not, it's just low blood pressure. Step your feet together. Now we're going to make our way to the floor. We're going to use a sun salutation to do so. Inhale, broaden your back. Exhale up. Inhale, fold. Exhale, gorilla, and here's where we add a step. Inhale, step your feet back to yoga pose, head down dog. Your breath here. And then come on down to your knees and all the way to sitting. All right, so in sitting, let's start off with your knees bent, feet flat upon the floor. Then take your left leg out. Bring your right foot a little bit closer in. Let's give that knee a big old hug. Right hand behind, left arm does the hugging. And breathe. Back in toward the middle. Back to the starting point. And now right leg reaches forward. Left leg draws in. Right arm comes across, left hand behind. So most of the twist in your upper back. A good deal of twist in your neck to keep your neck supple. And little, if any, twist in the lower back. Then back in toward the middle. First side again. Now we're going to take a fork in the road. Probably for most of us, keep the bent leg foot on the same side. Or you could explore bringing it up and over. Up and over is not great if you have a hip replacement or if you feel any pinching in your groin. So maybe foot over or maybe where it was. Left arm comes across, right hand behind. Little, if any, twist from the lower back, meaning your navel still pointing straight ahead in front of you. And then turn from your upper back and neck. And back in toward the front. Switch it around, so choice. Foot could stay on the same side or it could cross over. Crossing over, not a great idea if you have a hip prosthetic. Not a good idea if you feel a pinching in your groin. But if none of those are true, it can be a nice way to release some of the tension you accumulate in the piriformis muscle. Back in toward the middle. And then make your way to your back. Now, one of the things I find interesting is shoulder bridge exists in Pilates land and it exists in yoga land. It's that good. So let's do a handful of shoulder bridges. Inhale, exhale, roll your spine up. And then inhale, exhale, roll your spine down. Up and down. All right, from supine to prone. Now in the crocodile, letting your chest fully sink into the floor. So part of the intention, part of the purpose is to restrict the movement of your chest to help free your upper back. So hand on top of hand, forehead atop hands. And then as you inhale, fill your back. Nice deep inhales, fill your back. All right. Bring your hands next to your armpits. And then keeping your chest open and broad, keeping your upper back spacious, float your hands up and reach your arms back. Then lifting up into yoga pose locust. That's where feet come up, head comes up, knees come up, chest comes up, and breathe. Then come down back to the starting point. And then reach both hands forward, a little wider than your shoulders, elbows a little bit lifted, a little bit bent. And this time legs stay down. And the focus is to lift your head and your chest, not by sinking into your lower back, but by mobilizing right between your shoulder blades and breathing. And come on down. Hands back by your armpits. Push up to hands and knees. And then set up in sitting. So it could be on a chair, could be on a cushion. So the past few weeks we've been doing alternate nostril breathing. So we're going to do another classic pranayama practice. Pranayama, Sanskrit for breathing exercises. And this one called breath of fire. It's said to be energizing. So it's a normal inhale, and then using your abdominal muscles to push the out breath out. So it's a very forceful out breath out your nose. So it's from your lower belly. Pull your lower belly in. All from the belly, not from the shoulders or neck or shoulder or the jaw. All right, so I'm going to do 10 breath of fire. And breathe normally. All right. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your weekend to join us. And before we part for the day and bid you adieu, any comments, any questions? All right. Thank you so much. And let's do this again in about a week, next Saturday. Bye, y'all.